Okay, everyone, let's get to Paige Christie's new video, which is called Alexa Nikolas is a Drunken Hypocrite. Strong title, strong title. I saw that Paige had posted this yesterday, and I have been waiting to watch it. Again, this just dropped, and last night I was out. I was celebrating my birthday, and I was not going to spend my birthday thinking about Alexa Nikolas, contrary to probably what she thinks about me. So let's get to this video from Paige. Alexa Nikolas is a drunken hypocrite.
Don't you make a lot of money off of, like, being Colleen Ballinger's victim? Asshole.
Also, for clarification, we're watching this for commentary. If you have not, attention, attention, attention. If you have not watched this video from Paige, please go over and watch. Please go over and watch. Please go over and support. She's the one that made the video. I just want to give my take on it. Please go do that first. And even if you have, go over, send a comment, and be like, hey. Because again, this is Paige's video. I just want to watch it to kind of add onto it.
What would your channel be without Colleen Ballinger? What was it at? What was Adam McIntyre's sub before Colleen Ballinger?
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
This is deeply sorry, not twinning. This is deeply, deeply, deeply unserious. Fucking Irish dancing.
So this is exactly why I speak crazy to you. And I'll do it again.
Bat. Are you literally doing a violent fucking gesture at me, you fuck?
We talked about this in the last one. Her, like, white woman tears. She goes, like I said in my last video, when we watched MLX's video, Paige goes, bat, and Alexa Nikolas goes, ah! Like, drops to the floor screaming. How dare you? How dare you? Like, it really is so fucking ridiculous. Her fucking white woman tears. Ah! Girl, shut the fuck up.
Fucking piece of shit. Get your fucking elbow the fuck away from me. I don't deserve your elbow at all. Bat.
How can anyone take this seriously? I don't deserve your elbow. Get your elbow away from me. Bat. And she's like staring with like the grip in her eyes.
Loser.
So apparently, not only am I violent, but I'm also aggressive.
We're 1 minute in. We're only 1 minute in, mind you.
The only violent energy I give is how aggressively I will press the skip ad button. Imagine my surprise as I'm watching Alexa drink down half a bottle of Hennessy, call me violent and aggressive. I aggressively folded my laundry in response. To be fair, girl, the last fight that I genuinely had was with a fitted bedsheet. And all of this because I made a bap gesture through a computer screen. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little bit gagged because to be called violent when the only thing I've ever assaulted is a buffet table, honestly, just literally put me on the floor. Violent and aggressive.
Also, Paige, you know, has made videos on Alexa the same way all of us have. And it's important to note that Alexa has really only given those, from what I'm gathering, connotations of those words to Paige, which is something to note, mind you, is something to note. I do see Alexa, you know, calling Paige violent and aggressive. I do see that as microaggressive. I really do see it as microaggressive. And comparing how she addresses Paige and the extremities of the way she, you know, addresses Paige to the way she addresses us, it comes across incredibly microaggressive. It comes across incredibly microaggressive. And again, everyone's agreeing because it is. And when Alexa was responding to this point, when I called her that about this, she was like, how dare I? How dare I do this? But then she doubled down by going, you know what? I am going to call Paige aggressive. I am going to, and it's like, she really is just a bad person.
Literally me.
And also, it, like, really upsets me that, like, Paige is having to deal with, like, this being the narrative that Alexa's, like, spewing about her. It point blank period is just inappropriate and wrong. And I cannot even begin to imagine how frustrating it must be that, like, this is what Alexa is saying about Paige already.
The big bitch, violent and aggressive. Yes, girl. I've been working out on my tone of voice at the gym. I can't believe this crazy bitch called me violent, bro. I don't even kill spiders. I literally evict them. It wouldn't even be so bad, but she lives in America. The American person called me violent. The only thing my British ass has violently done is Q today. I aggressively apologize when somebody bumps into me. So girlie, if I am violent, I am like long distance violence. Like,
and again, I can understand why Paige is like, you know, coming at this from like a humorous point of view, but it is important to note as well that I'm sure this is something that Paige has dealt with before. And I think that it's important for us to be calling Alexa out for this. I think it's important to be acknowledging that what she's doing is microaggressive at its finest. She's refusing to acknowledge that it is, even when I called her out for it. And she was like, how dare Adam suggest that? How dare I suggest that? It is microaggressive. And what she's doing is just such a tired narrative, and is unbelievably predictable that, like, of course this is the approach Alexa would take. Of course. She's just a bad person, dude. And Paige still gives Alexa full respect. Yeah, because one of these people has dignity.
Like a very angry carrier pigeon. Like, babe, this is England. The most amount of fight that I've had today is with the rain and a kettle. Bro, imagine an American calling me violent. You guys start war over tea. I just drink it. But honestly, real talk, this has been some of the funniest shit that I've seen online. I don't know if you guys have been following or keeping up to date with Alexa Nikolas. I promised you that I wasn't going to respond, but it was too funny not to.
She does have a beautiful face card.
Hilarious. Disgusting and sad, and definitely should be treated. No, we gotta be serious. Definitely should be treated with compassion and care, because some of the stuff it is that Alexa has said is out of this world terrible, and definitely shows her as an individual who is not an advocate for victims. But high key, it was kind of funny because this girl literally got onto a live stream for hours and hours on end, drinking brown liquor, cussing everybody out. Honestly, she low-key reminded me of my father. But she said some deplorable things such as Adam McIntyre would be nothing without killing Ballinger, or his career would be nothing without killing Ballinger. Obviously, I am paraphrasing, but that is disgusting.
And again, if you have not watched the previous video that I just made where we reacted to M. Alexis' video, Paige, and M. Alexis might not know this because obviously they're not in my phone, but not only did Alexa Nikolas cover the Colleen Ballinger situation, but she actually, like I said, DM'd me and said that I inspire her because of it. 26th of July, hi, you inspire me to stand up even more than I already do. She said, sending you so much love, here's my email and cell if you want to talk or hang out, right? Which goes to show that she actually doesn't care about the things she's talking about, because she was willing to address and make money off of the Colleen thing, which is crazy. And then she's trying to throw making money in my face. But then she flips and turns on me and says, who would I be without Colleen? When she just doesn't like me. Which is exactly how we're seeing her turn on her own Eat Predators members once they don't just fucking look at her like, in her own words, a Mother Teresa.
She got scared of my elbow, which I think is fucking hilarious. Don't you dare! Girl, you're in America! But as I was saying, I said to you guys last time that I would not be returning to Alexa Nikolas. Like, I knew that she would be relentless and I wasn't going to go back there. But this was too much, honey. This was too much. We needed to talk. This was something. Actually, her live stream going on for as long as it did on California time literally flipped my entire body clock upside down. So, yeah, no, we're doing this. We're doing this. Too much time was spent, okay?
Sorry about how I look. I've been crying. You like it? I've been crying.
Oh, even just seeing clips from it, like, it just... I know I watched it. I know I was there, but my God. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, it can't be as bad as I remember. It's worse than I remember. It's fucking worse than I remember.
If you haven't been following what's been going on with Alexa Nikolas, a lot has been going on actually recently. So where we left off last time, we basically were talking about the victims of Alexa Nikolas. One of the old members of her Discord came forward to tell her story. Her name is Alexia. I'm so sorry, last time I pronounced your name completely incorrectly. Alexia, I will definitely link her videos down in the description box down below, because she's also came...
Did I just mispronounce her name the entire video? Alexia? That's why I warned you, it's M. Alexis. How the fuck is M. Alexis said M. Alexia? Alexi. Oh. I don't fucking know.
Came out with a second one that came out today, so that's very interesting. We'll discuss that a little bit today as well. But since my last video...
Sorry, is Paige saying it wrong again? Oh no, poor Paige.
Alexa Nikolas has been essentially trying to get my attention across multiple different platforms.
It's very confusing in Paige's defense, because I've done it as well, where I kept saying Alexa. There's too many.
She left the post on the community tab and tagged me there. She was leaving posts including my name on her Instagram. She was leaving posts including my name on her Twitter. And every single time that she would go forth onto any platform and say my name, the response was just diabolical. Like, you guys, the general audience, you guys were not having it. So Alexa decided that what she was going to do was sit down.
And again, she's continuing to provoke the public as well, which is further ruining her reputation. Don't you dare put any of that on Paige, me, or Kat.
And make a documentary. Now, in this documentary, she was allegedly supposed to be going through the whole situation with Drake Bell and his victim and rehashing all of that. And she just kind of kept proposing over and over and over again that I didn't read the victim's own words. And that because I didn't read the victim's own words, that I was doing some kind of disservice to victims.
For all the people who have been sending me harassment from Paige Christie's YouTube, Adam's YouTube, I can't believe...
Girl, you are posting things and people are responding to them badly because of the things that you're posting and the way you're conducting yourself. Stop trying to, this is so frustrating, like it really is so fucking frustrating. Stop trying to like put everything on someone else. Sometimes you've got to just own up to your own actions, and you're continuing to do this. And whenever you do this as well, you piss off more people. I just don't understand how she's able to live in this just world of fucking delusion and self-pity and self-victimization. It is so unbelievably, and yes, I'm going to say it, narcissistic. It really fucking is. It's arrogant. It's selfish as well to forever you be the victim of something. You know, that's literally what she's doing here. She's a victim of now Paige Christie's YouTube video comments, Adam McIntyre's YouTube. Girl, these things are responding to things that you're doing that have pissed people off, and then we're responding to that, and it's like, you're doing this. You're doing this. Yeah, she's a victim of bat. Fuck me. She goes, put your fucking elbow down, please. She goes, Paige, put your elbow down. Shut up.
I believe you haven't learned by now.
Learned what? She just went, I can't believe you haven't learned. Okay. Alexa, learned what? Never once have you, like, vindicated yourself. Never once have you, like, proven that what the general public were saying about you wasn't true. Like, never... And what's crazy is the self-victimization is ultimately the reason that she exposed herself and will no longer be able to do Eat Predators without the respect of the general public. She did that. Her ego did that. What does she mean by, I can't believe you guys haven't learned by now? I truly can't even begin to fathom what she means by that. I really, I cannot begin to understand what she means by that.
How they spread misinformation and how reckless they are with it.
Oh my God.
I have tried to tell you guys over and over again and shown you in actual public documents of my own lawsuit how this works. And yet you're not listening.
Your lawsuit is bullshit,
and now,
girl.
I'm going to have to show yet again in public documents with evidence the truth and how what Paige
all this about Drake Bell, by the way. All this about Drake Bell.
Christie was saying was not true. And that I did not lie about a victim. The same way that I was not leaking sealed documents of the victim, etc.
This was quite baffling and strange to me. I must have looked through these documents a billion fucking times. But hey, I'm open to being wrong. So I was actually looking forward to seeing her doc so that I could see what it was that was her smoking gun. But before...
Also, good point. Alexa constantly runs with this narrative of like, I'm going to prove people wrong. You guys are going to see. And then she doesn't follow through with it. And then acts like she did do the things and we're now stupid for not just believing her. She's on this campaign, I guess, pressed her of her Drake Bell documentaries coming out tomorrow. 2 weeks ago, a week ago. She's going to rock the world with it. Her own words. It's going to spin the world. And then she just doesn't post it. So how can you then say that we're in the wrong when you haven't even fulfilled the thing that you promised that you were going to do to prove us wrong?
Before we could even get to the doc, Alexa decided that she was going to sit down on a live stream, oh god, it's gotta be like midweek, Wednesday, last week, and share with us her smoking gun whilst being under the influence of alcohol. I don't know who in her life and in her world decided that this was a good idea. I mean, even at one point in the stream, we actually see somebody take her alcohol away from her, and it was just kind of a big mess, like not a good look in general.
And again, really, really, really important that I'm going to double down on that point as well. Like, the people in her life, are they so used to seeing her like this that it's normalized, or like, do they not care about her? What do you mean that Alexa went on live, drank all that much, vaped all that much, swayed all that much, slurred all that much, harassed me all that much, denied people's stories, insinuated that people only talk about being a victim to make money, pried into my financial, situation, Paige's financial situation, and her husband was in the room. He was in the room. Her mother was a moderator in the YouTube chat. Like, this wasn't like, oh, Alexa got drunk again and went on live. It was like all of them were working on it together. Very weird. Very, very, very weird.
Not a healthy way.
Yeah, she doesn't do money, but yeah, she sold Nickelodeon merch.
To deal with any kind of upset, anger, anguish, opposition it is that you're feeling towards other people. And just all in all, her attitude was just nasty and mean girl. Calling everyone losers, calling people names, talking shit about Adam McIntyre's lip filler. Just very like catty, mean girly girl stuff. And just honestly behavior that I feel like at our age, yes, me and Alexa are literally the same age, but at our age, we should not be engaging in, because like, aren't we a little bit too grown for the like, you're ugly kind of shit, Like, I judge people based on their character, not based on how they look. Now, the title of this video is called Adam McIntyre Ignored Drake Bell's Reported Victim's Own Words. Now, before we get into some of the clips I'm going to show you is like the most pertinent parts of this live stream, I just want it to be noted that throughout this live stream, Alexa calls Drake Bell's victim a reported victim.
Ignoring.
Which is funny because that fucking vape girl, I can only assume that's a green apple vape. It's really crazy to me that Alexa once, in a now deleted stream, reacted to the victim talk, and she goes, look, NBC said victim, not alleged victim, victim. And now she's saying reported victim.
The reported victim of Drake Bell's own words.
Almost
and
kind of denying this person.
And also just laughing about it, drinking, smoking, while talking about it, victim, is just insanely... I've never seen anything like it.
Victimhood. And I don't know where this bitch thinks she can get off denying who can be a victim or not. Especially seems this victim isn't a reported victim. This is a victim who literally found at least a small morsel of justice within the judicial system. Like, literally a judge stamped that shit. Somebody was found guilty. Whether it was plea guilty or whether it was found guilty really doesn't make any difference. Somebody was guilty for crimes against children. And that somebody was your dear friend fucking Drake Bell. But I digress. Despite this, it's still only a reported victim. Bitch disgusting.
Bitch disgusting.
Then in the thumbnail, we have a picture of Adam McIntyre, Alexa Nikolas, and in the middle...
Why does this look like me and Alexa have a podcast and we're interviewing our guest, Drake Bell? The way she's like this in the thumbnail.
is Drake Bell. And we see a bunch of different timestamps in a conversation. It seems as if they are from a transcript with the words that read as follows. July 2017, we became flirty. Out of nowhere, sent an ab picture. It was his body, cut off above blank. I still have the screenshots. I wanted to return the favor. Then we go down to a different set of timestamps and it says, begin in August 2016 or started in August 2017.
Horrible.
Screenshot of abs. Bit of blank, which I'm imagining is the word sexting, not in order. Picture of me on a counter I have. Now, before the live stream started, Alexa was in the live chat, basically going back and forth with people, expecting people to be extremely shocked by the messages it was that she had chosen to include in the thumbnail. And
I love that, by the way. Sorry, Adam's an absolute disgrace. She's about to
basically telling people to look.
Wait. Sorry, she's drunk as fuck here. Anyone see?
People to be extremely shocked by the messages it was that she had chosen to include in the thumbnail. And basically
she goes, Adam is an absolute disgrace. Drunk as fuck in the comments before. I completely forgot. to talk about this in my video. But yeah, literally before she went live, she had the premiere up so people could like just write in the chat before she went live. And she was arguing with people because she put these things in the thumbnail thinking it was going to have an impact, and people didn't give a fuck.
Telling people to look at the thumbnail and that she's going to start in her own time, and just, I don't know, just all around it was just really messy. A lot of people felt as if they were being held hostage before the live stream, and she was
I won't go live till you say what she said. This is crazy. Being held hostage to watch the live is such a funny way to put it.
going back and forth with the audience and naysayers.
And I'm not on your time. Okay? I just want to make that clear. I'm not on your time. You're on my time. As a survivor, I'm going to make that real clear. You're on my time. How I want to say something, when I want to say it. Right? You're on my time. You're on my channel. You can switch to another channel at any given point.
To begin the stream, Alexa then starts to talk about something called survivor sovereignty.
I started Eat Predators wanting survivors to unite. Okay? And after everything that I have gone through in the last almost 3 years of chanting Survivors United, I changed my mind. I want survivor sovereignty.
Now, I'm British, so the only sovereign I knew of was, the sovereignty.
Survivor sovereignty. Survivor sovereignty. Survivor sovereignty is crazy.
Of the crown. So I was confused as to why she was using that term, so I did have a look at the internet to find out what she meant by sovereignty. Now, survivor sovereignty in relation to CSA, which is what I'm assuming that she's gearing towards, is a concept rooted in trauma-informed and survivor-centered practice. It refers to respecting and restoring the autonomy, agency, and decision-making power of a survivor over their own stories, their healing, and lives. Survivor sovereignty pushes back against that loss of control. It emphasizes that survivors, not outsiders, should determine how or if they disclose, heal, seek justice, or engage in community supports. So basically, throughout this entire monologue at the beginning of her stream, where she speaks quite openly about survivor sovereignty, she's basically telling you, me, any survivor who has ever rocked with her, past or present, that she's going to be choosing herself every fucking time.
Which, by the way, she like is saying. She literally is doing Instagram lives where she's like, if you care more about what you're going through rather than what I go through, you are the problem. And it's like, Alexa, you aren't just the only one that matters. I really just can't, I cannot fathom her level of like delusion, self-obsession, like self-righteousness, if you will.
But what's interesting is that the choice and autonomy and whether to engage in community supports was such an interesting one for me, because usually I'd say the way you choose to heal is 100% down to you. But if you are the person who is facilitating these community supports, then yes, you do have an obligation to the people who are using your quote-unquote service. She then goes on to state that people do not have to agree with everything it is that a survivor chooses to do, i.e. her own personal behavior.
But being a survivor doesn't excuse you or get you out of accountability. Like, you know what I mean? It just seems at a certain stage. By the way, fuck this REM Beauty lip balm. This is the third one I've bought where the thing has cracked and then it doesn't open again. I literally just bought this today. The packaging, whatever. Packaging is so fucking shitty. Cheap as hell. That's so annoying. Anyways, yeah.
And it's okay if sometimes you don't necessarily agree with someone who also
my
has
point. Just because you're a survivor doesn't mean that you can use that to get out of accountability for the rest of your life.
a similar trauma to you. I had to learn that. I really did. And reminding myself of my own sovereignty as a survivor was hard work. And I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. You're watching. Survivor sovereignty. It's not Survivors United right now. And maybe I was wrong with that.
It's not Survivors United because people are calling her out. White woman tears, literally. She's so fucking exhausting.
Dream that just based off of our own traumas, we could understand one another.
Because as we know, even more recently, a lot more of the people who are a part of the Eat Predators collective are no longer choosing to be involved anymore after seeing Alexa's more recent behavior, which in turn goes hand in hand with the point that I was making in my first video, which is the reason that people have a problem with Alexa and that her public rapport is so bad isn't because of Kat Tembarge, but because of her own action.
I like almost keep forgetting that she's suing Kat Tembarge because she speaks more about me and Paige. Like, do you guys agree? Maybe I'm just being a little bit too self-involved here. But Kat hasn't said anything about Alexa for a very long time. I would even argue, like, over a year. And Alexa has talked about her a lot. Which I wonder who you could argue is actually trying to affect the other person's reputation. But anyways, she speaks more about me and Paige than the person she's suing. It almost seems like she's just like given up on the lawsuit to attack me and Paige now, right? Okay, you guys agree.
She states that she was hoping to bring
I
together
straight up forgot that's how we even got here.
a community of...
Yeah, and I'm sure that's really going to help in a court of law, mind you, that she is suing someone for defamation, but is preaching online that actually it was two other people who defamed her.
survivors, and that maybe their
Dumbass.
shared association in survivorhood would overcome all of their own interpersonal differences.
And I want more than ever. Instead of necessarily pushing this very big dream of Survivors Unite.
So basically, she wanted people to basically fawn over her every move because they would all be survivors. So an echo chamber.
I would love one day for survivors to respect one another in their own sovereignty.
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare. She goes, I want survivors to just support each other. Girl, you literally, in this same live stream, are like, Adam, where would you be without Colleen Ballinger? Where would you be? How much money do you make? You're a crazy obsessed fan. Girl, you don't give a fuck about survivors. Also, you're chopped as fuck. You're chopped. Go look after your kids. Stop drinking your problems away on live. Your husband clearly doesn't care about you if he allows you to go live like this. Your mother also clearly doesn't care about you if she's willing to moderate all this. Go look after your kids. Your kids' formative memories of you are going to be you drinking on stream.
And what makes them them and how they view something. And that doesn't mean that they're betraying a group name or a cause, right? That we can still look at them and go,
Eek.
you see this differently than I do. We're going to disagree.
Also, it's so funny watching this first part back because then when she switches and she's like, no, let's talk about Adam. It's like, oh yeah, her performance is up.
On this, but we're not going to.
And by the way, it's very clear why she was never invited back for future seasons of Zoe 101, considering this is her acting.
Harm one another. We're not going to make things worse. We're just going to acknowledge that maybe we see things differently.
She calls Adam McIntyre a piece of shit over and over again.
So I'm just going to say this straight up. Like, Adam McIntyre, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like an actual piece of shit, man. How you spread misinformation and bully survivors, like myself, is absolutely disgusting. Like, you're a tool. I'm not going to be nice to you tonight. I don't have it in me. I cried. I feel pain. I feel sadness, but I'm
She has to remind you that she cried. I cried. I feel pain. I feel sadness.
a sovereign survivor. And you, my friend, do not feel like somebody who is safe for survivors. You are a piece of shit. You spread misinformation
Goodness me.
like it's no tomorrow, like it's drinking water. Like it's drinking water.
Girl, you should be drinking water right now.
You're like, misinformation? Because you can't read, apparently.
And also states that, like, Adam McIntyre makes money through YouTube and through the downfall of other people, which is highly ironic considering the people it is that Alexa chooses to associate herself with within the commentary space. For instance, Salone pretty much does the exact same. Another individual, Ethan Klein, does exactly the same thing. The only difference between those two individuals and Adam McIntyre is the presumed budget that goes into their commentary. But essentially, they are commentary channels who speak about loads of different things that are taking place on the internet and in the celebrity world. All of these people do the same.
It is just really funny that she makes arguments, but then, like, doesn't acknowledge how she's contradicting it. She went on Pedo Troll's fucking podcast that is a podcast that obsesses over the same 4 fucking people and harasses them daily. Her best friend Sloane is literally, like, a worse version of Perez Hilton. And yet, oh, I'm the problem.
Same thing.
You're a loser, dude. You, for somebody who talks down on someone like me, you depend on me to pay your rent. How much money did you make off of Alexa Nikolas videos?
I've already been through her videos, so I don't want to rehash too many things. But the fact that she said that I rely on her to pay my rent, she does not, I think, like, to put it in the kindest way possible, I don't think she can see outside of herself.
The girl who's irrelevant. Did it pay your rent? Did it? What did it pay for?
She's so fucking
She then
crazy.
kind of slips in numerous different occasions the Vanity Fair article.
You're a fucking asshole. Like, I was like, oh, rat. Like, that's a little too far. Like, a rat. Dude, you're a rat. You're despicable. You're a disgrace to the survivor community. You have no fucking respect for a survivor. At all, dude. At all. You're a clickbait machine, man. Let's read your Vanity Fair article about you, shall we? That you were so hot and bothered about.
She's such a crazy bitch.
What are you a survivor of?
Oh.
Now, if you don't know what the Vanity Fair article is, let me give you the brief TLDR. Vanity Fair wrote an article to do with the Colleen Ballinger situation and all of the victims who would come forward to state that they were victims of.
And by the way, Andrew Quintana literally had to fucking run from social media after releasing this fucking hit piece article, mind you. He literally deleted he was deleting everything. He was privating everything. He would even he couldn't stand behind the article.
Colleen Ballinger. Now, at this point in time, Colleen Ballinger is receiving horrendous press, not just here on the internet and on commentary channels, but also in mainstream media. A lot of people believe that Colleen Ballinger and her PR or people who may work for her.
Also, the way that she implies, let's read the article that got you so hot and bothered. Who was Colleen's PR, basically, at the time of that article? Andrew Brettler. Who did Alexa then hire? Andrew Brettler. So I can only imagine the combos she's had about me behind the scenes. But Alexa, you're a crazy bitch. Please go look after your kids. They're screaming, Mommy! Mommy! In the next room. They're begging you to get off live. Put the bottle down, Mommy. Mommy, put the bottle down. Pay attention to us. Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. Please. Who the fuck is looking after your kids, girl? Your mother is moderating this live. You and your husband, are your kids also in the room during this? Fuck me.
For her or crisis management team had potentially paid for an article in Vanity Fair, because Vanity Fair seemed to present the situation between Adam McIntyre and Colleen Ballinger as Adam McIntyre being some kind of crazed fan with a vendetta, which, as we know, is not the case, because the first time that Adam McIntyre came forward to share his story, if I'm not mistaken, he was 18 maybe, if
he was what age was I? I think I was 17.
But
17.
when he originally came forward to tell his story, the majority of the internet condemned him and called him a liar and said that he was trying to destroy Colleen. Nobody believed him for several years until a bunch of other Colleen Ballinger victims came forward to tell their story, thus showing that there is power in numbers. So the only reason that people revisited Adam McIntyre and then started to believe him was because 50 different people can be saying the same thing at the same goddamn time. And also, in turn, these victims validating their experiences with Colleen Ballinger around the time that Adam McIntyre was around too. So Adam McIntyre wasn't this crazed fan who kept going on about the abuse it is that he suffered at the hands of Colleen Ballinger. He was somebody who spoke about it, that everybody revisited again when it all started bubbling up.
3 years later. 3 years later.
All over again, I guess, 2021, 2022? A very long time ago. Then Alexa says, one of the worst things I think it is that she said the whole live stream, and quite frankly, possibly the one thing that turned even people who may have been in Alexa's corner completely off from her. She asked him what he was a survivor of, and then basically attributed his entire career to being only successful because of the Colleen Ballinger story, and that he essentially would be nothing without Colleen Ballinger.
Wait, don't you make a lot of money off of being Colleen Ballinger's victim? Asshole. What would your channel be without Colleen Ballinger? What was it at? I'm gonna take a second for everybody to comment in the chat. What?
Again, my favorite thing about her saying this is before the Colleen thing in 2023, my channel had probably triple the amount of subs that she has now. I literally worked my way up to 250K. I got my YouTube plaques, did everything. And what for Alexa? Nothing. Mommy, please, get off live, please.
What was Adam McIntyre's sub before Colleen Ballinger?
The stream getting turned off is so funny. Sorry, imagine being buttoned by your husband. Goodness me.
Relax. Am I laughing at him for being a victim of Colleen Ballinger?
The fucking bottle is crazy. Could you imagine she got told off by her husband? She kind of looks like Miranda Sings here. And I'm not even saying that to be... doesn't this literally look like... She literally looks like Miranda Sings here. She does, right? It literally looks like the Miranda Sings lipstick as well. Haggard, honey. Yeah, the fucking bottle as well is so funny.
No, I'm not laughing at him being a victim of Colleen Ballinger. What I'm laughing at him is for being a fucking hypocrite. Please, you don't belong here, obviously, if you don't understand what's going on. I'm not making fun of him for being Colleen Ballinger's fucking victim. I'm making fun of him for being a hypocrite. I'm allowed to do that.
Now, the implications of that statement is absolutely ludicrous, because as a lot of people have said, if it wasn't for Alexa's connections to Dan Schneider, who would she be without Dan Schneider? And even just saying those words is disgusting, whether it's to Alexa or whether it's to Adam McIntyre. Like, it's a horrible, horrible thing to say. She then states that she doesn't do the eat predators thing for money. She does it because she cares.
Like most people, like maybe 1,000 people are going to watch this video. Whatever. I don't really care. I'm not doing it for that. I don't need to. I have my own job. I'm doing this because I care about it. Okay? I don't need to do this today. Let me get this fucking clear. I'm not doing this for that.
What is her job? How do you make money then? How are you suing for defamation, which you have to prove loss of income, but you're saying, actually, I don't make any money doing this. Girl, I'm sure that's really going to help your lawsuit. She's so stupid as fuck. Like, she really is stupid as hell. Why are you literally disproving the outcome of the lawsuit already? You're literally... You know what? Keep it coming, girl. Keep it fucking coming.
I don't need to pay my rent through this. Get it clear. I don't. I'm doing it because I care. And I also really care about misinformation, how it's spread, and like how fucking disgusting it is. But I have my own job. I'm not here needing this. I'm doing it because I care about it. Not like Adam McIntyre, where it's whole...
If it's not for money, then why are all of her videos monetized on YouTube? Because she does do this for money. She does this for money and attention.
Life depends on YouTube. Your whole life revolves around YouTube. You know what that's probably like? God. You have to go on Twitter and scroll to find out what people are talking about so you can make a dime. Regardless of the person involved. Regardless of what's actually being said.
So
you
crazy.
need to make money. So don't fucking come around here and say, I'm a performative activist. You are. I wasn't doing this for money. I was protesting. You can ask anybody. You can ask anybody. I was doing this for no fucking money. I was negative in my bank account doing this work. Because I fucking cared about it and I wasn't on YouTube.
She then states that, like,
crazy.
he makes his money off condemning celebrities and he's not a real celebrity. And I don't know, maybe I'm putting an implication here, but tell me if I'm just like, you know, over criticizing here. But it was very much giving to me like I'm a real celebrity and you're a nobody. When the reality of this...
Yeah, completely. And also, she said that I'm not an activist. I'm not a safe person for survivors, and I'm not a celebrity. I've never called myself one of those things ever. Yeah, this reads to me, right, without trying to sound as, like, self-absorbed as possible. I believe that Alexa hates the fact that I spoke about what I went through, and I was able to continue on YouTube without having to, like, talk about it all the time and whatever. I think she's guilty, or she's jealous of that. And I don't say people are jealous of me often. And I think she's annoyed that didn't work out for her because her channel's monetized. She wants to make money off of this. And the way she hyperfixates on me not being a celebrity, which I'm not, and me making money online just kind of implies that she's pissed that she doesn't, which is not true because she does.
The situation is that Adam McIntyre's influence is vastly greater than anything it is that Alexa Nikolas has been able to achieve on her own or even with the Eat Predators collective. So it's kind of moronic to say something like that. Because if we're talking about who the real celebrity is, it's probably Adam. I mean, Adam's the one who went on tour.
Post how much money you made off of me. And post how much money you make off of every celebrity that you actually consider a downfall. Post how much money you make off of celebrities being destroyed. I want to know it. You pay your rent with this shit. You're a disgrace, man. And then you go around telling fucking celebrities that they're not relevant while you make money off of them? Get real, Adam.
Oh my God, she just said you go around telling celebrities they're not relevant while you make money off of them. The only person I said wasn't relevant was you, girl, because you're not relevant, irrelevant. You're not a celebrity, girl. You are genuinely not a celebrity, girl. You barely lasted long enough in your Nickelodeon show to even be classed as one, girl. Fuck.
You've never been a celebrity. You don't even know what the fuck it actually is like.
See, Alexa, you can say that to me. Adam, you're not a celebrity. And I'm like, okay, I never said that. If I say that about you, you are going to like, but you're not, so.
What it's like to be a real celebrity.
Basically,
I don't know what it's like to be a real celebrity. Like Alexa.
hinting that she is now more financially secure than she was in previous streams. Because if I'm not mistaken, and people who've been following the Eat Predators thing for a while, please let me know. But if I'm not mistaken, there was numerous different occasions where Alexa was talking about being in like financial disarray and like, you know, things were, you know, financially good for her, etc., etc. Even when like the Quiet on Set documentary came out, she even made some comments about not being paid and not being able to afford therapy, which as we can see, she greatly needs. But it's kind of hinted to me that maybe she's in a different financial position, that she feels that she can shit on other people who choose to make their money on the internet. So a good question would be, Alexa, where have you got this newfound money from? Is it your...
That is a great point that Paige has just brought up, by the way. Alexa has opened up about money struggles and has, like everyone, you know, talked about it's hard out here. We all got to work. But now She's making fun of me doing YouTube as a job to make money, is also doing the same to Paige, but is coming in at night from like, she's got her own thing going on. She's fine. She's fine financially. So yeah, like Paige is saying, where did you get your money, Alexa? Where's your money coming from?
Your husband? What job does your husband do? What's his annual salary? Because if we're asking people how much money it is that they make, why don't you come forward and tell us how you make your money? How you were able to afford that beautiful house? How exactly have your circumstances changed, Alexa? She then goes on to shame Adam McIntyre for never organizing a protest.
I was in the streets. Have you ever been in the streets? You've never been in the streets. Have you ever organized a protest?
My favorite thing about this as well is that Alexa refuses to acknowledge the amount of times that we've like raised money for specifically Nexus in Ireland, literally for sexual assault and for victims. Like, girl, we don't care to constantly bring up that we're good people that raise money or whatever. Girl, we don't care to do that. We do it and we move on. Just like we've raised thousands. We've raised a lot of money. We've raised a lot of money specifically for Nexus. Literally from like the north of Ireland for sexual abuse survivors. And we don't need, she doesn't bring it up because she doesn't know that it happened, because we don't talk about it every fucking stream. You know why? We did it. We give them the money and we move on. Okay. I don't have to prove to you that I'm a good person by constantly being out or doing things. We do them and then we move on. Because my entire life doesn't revolve around constantly getting praise for doing good things? Question mark? Who cares? We raise money, we give it, we move on. We protest, we maybe protest again, and we also continue on with our lives. You don't have to preach that you're doing the things for people to take you seriously.
Picturing him organize a protest. Not to say that his own version of advocacy doesn't matter. Always fair. I don't like that about myself, but I'm gonna keep it up. But it doesn't. That doesn't mean he doesn't have some advocacy. But regardless,
hell,
like I was in the
girl.
streets, protesting institutions. What do you do?
She was in the streets, girl.
You make money off of YouTube, bro.
So do
You're a rat.
you.
And I'm like, oh, we are used, like, protest is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Now, I'm not saying that Alexa doesn't go out there and, you know, stand with a bunch of people with signs and picket various different places, but we're talking a collection of less than 20 people. In some occasions, I've seen less than 5 people standing outside and protesting.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Keep Predators Daily!
What do these men have in common? PMC drops low for Diplo.
A dragon is a predator.
We love you, Elray, but why? Love survivors back.
Protect the audience! Protect the audience!
We're not talking in the same way that, say, an organization like Black Lives Matter were, you know, doing a massive protest, a global...
Crazy, by the way. But she's been in the streets. She's been in the streets. She's been in the streets. Girl, does she also realize that in the process of trying to weaponize that she's in the streets, she's also throwing everyone else that has protests with her under the bus as well? She's like literally weaponizing and using them.
Protest organizing with various different divisions, making sure that everybody had water and refreshments, things that were donated from grassroots projects. I mean, to be honest, the amount of organizing that would go into a large protest at that level versus a couple of people showing up with pickets is two different worlds. This is the equivalent of me organizing a girl's holiday and us all arriving at the airport on time. Like Alexa likes to believe.
Girl, no, that's just... That is fucking insane. She said, girl, your protests are like me telling my friends to show up somewhere.
That what she has done is so grand, when in reality what she has done is a small amount in the grand scheme of things that can be done. And like what we heard from the previous Alexa victim, Alexa alleges that there was also times when, you know, protests were organized and they didn't even show up nor tell people that they weren't going to be showing up.
So the next broken promise is a protest that she was going to instruct in New York City.
I'm like, Alexa, are you in the streets?
and her husband were hyping up this protest, saying that they were going to fly out to New York City and protest this band who had a predator in it. I even remember in the Discord, her husband was in a video chat with other members, and I popped in to see why was he in a video chat with other members, just him? Because honestly, I found that as a little sus, because he's a man. Okay, I just find all men sus. And he's sharing his screen, and people are watching him make the poster for that protest that they're going to fly out to. But the day of the protest, a member tagged Alexa's husband on the EP Discord and said that they were going to be late to the protest. And the husband replies, "Oh, actually, we aren't going to the protest because we can't afford it."
So one of two things. Alexa, where's your newfound money coming from? Paige is correct. And then number two, are you even in the streets, girl?
So they never told anybody that the protest was not going to happen. And this person felt betrayed, this member, and also nervous because they were downtown Times Square, New York City, going to protest this ban. So the way that Alexa's husband tried to cover it up was, "Oh, hey, how about you send us a picture of you at the protest and we'll post it on our Instagram." So that is not taking people's time into consideration, because if you know damn well you had this protest coming up and you can't fucking afford the tickets, you tell the people in your Discord.
The one requirement of protesting is showing up
right away.
So whilst you're asking Adam McIntyre, can he do a protest? Can he organize a protest? Bitch, can you? She also says a couple of comments about my backdrop. She seems to have a problem with my backdrop.
She put such hard work into the video. She couldn't even read the victim's own words. What work the fuck did you do, Paige Christie? Other than that fucking lame backdrop. Oh, I'm sorry, did I offend you? What the fuck is that? You put more work into your stupid backdrop than actually reading the goddamn document.
And then goes on to say stuff like, you guys pay for your rent with the money it is that you make taking people down. And I can't speak for Adam McIntyre, but what I will say is that Adam McIntyre paid off his parents' mortgage.
Screw, sorry, I am completely incorrect here. Actually, Adam McIntyre bought his parents a whole house.
True. Oh my god, I haven't seen this tweet in a long time. Yeah, I bought them the house for their 30th anniversary. But, Alexa.
And by the looks of that picture, it looks as if it is a detached house. Now, a detached house in Ireland costs a fuck ton of money, bitch. So
yeah. It was a lot.
Something that I know I sure can't afford. So, yeah.
Now, as for myself, I was a homeowner at 23 years old. There is no rent here, darling. And I didn't become full-time on YouTube until 2020. So I've been doing this full-time for 5 years. Prior to that, I was working a regular job just like you. So again, how much money do you make? What's your annual salary? What's your household income? I would say that this is none of my business, but you seem to be in everybody else's. She then completely misses my joke.
Eight. Oh, that was good as fuck. Whack her again, Paige. Come on, Paige. Let's have a fucking she's gonna scream at you saying whack, or me saying whack again. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Yeah, her face card's amazing.
About her lies being her skincare routine and assumes that I'm making fun of her skin or the quality of her skin, which
crazy.
I'm not, by the way. I don't know if that needed to be made clear. You went from raggedy bitch to trifling bitch so fast that I'm beginning to think that lying is your skincare routine.
I'm not your raggedy bitch, but you need a skincare routine. Fuck you, Paige Christie, you misogynist asshole. Keep spewing the repetition of misogyny, you asshole. You need a new everything. You need a new life. I probably
what?
Get a new cleanser, but you can't get a new life, can you?
I think everybody else got the joke, but I'm not making fun of your skin, sweetheart. If the black isn't cracking and it makes you feel inferior, that is all of your own accord. She then gets scared of my elbow, which is the funniest thing in the whole entire world.
Bat, are you literally doing a violent fucking gesture at me?
A violent gesture. A violent gesture is crazy.
Fucking piece of shit. Get your fucking elbow the fuck away from me. I don't deserve your elbow at all. Bat, loser. You're literally talking about something you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Per usual.
It's just crazy.
And then you spew violence towards the person who's actually reading the victim's own fucking words. Huh? I'm sorry, did I miss something?
She is literally just drunkenly rambling. She genuinely is just drunkenly rambling. It is fucking insane. They're me drunk arguing with the wall. Literally.
Other than you being an absolute asshole and now aggressive for sure. You did the bat. I'm gonna say it once again for you. Paige Christie, you're being aggressive. I don't like it. Stop being aggressive.
Now, I've made a bunch of different jokes about it already, so we're not even going to go down there again. But what I will say is that bap is actually from a meme. It's a TikTok meme of somebody who was talking about their parent being a Trump supporter. I'll play it for you now.
You guys, my dad literally just got punched in the face for being a Trump supporter. That was it. Just for being a Trump supporter. And I do it again. Bop, bop, bop.
So yeah, it was a meme. It's in the social media cultural zeitgeist.
Even if it wasn't a meme, from the context it was set in, girl, context clues.
Everybody else probably understood what it meant, but considering you can get a joke about lies being your skincare, obviously it just straight over your head. There's nothing in there, is there? Throughout this video, she also makes various different hints that she is attempting to sue Adam McIntyre. Just like these little moments where she like kind of just looks crazily into the screen. I'll play a few of those clips for you now, but it's, yeah, she keeps like hinting that she wants to sue Adam McIntyre.
Yo, Adam McIntyre, you're a fucking crazy ass fucking piece of shit, dude. Who should be sued for what you do. And maybe this video will do it. We'll find out. But your accountability is on the fucking...
Alexa, crazy woman, listen to me. You don't threaten me at all. You like to threaten people. Does not work on me, girl. I don't give a fuck. I hear something. Wait, do you guys hear something? Do you guys hear something? Because I hear something. Mommy! I hear that.
Mommy, get off live! Mommy, get off live!
I'm hearing something. Alexa, are you hearing that?
Mommy, please! Pay attention to us!
Wait, I can hear it.
In Horizon, bro. You're not untouchable. You know your friend Kat's being sued, right? For defamation? You know that the case is very strong, right?
I love how fucking crazy and delusional she is. You know the case is strong, right?
We'll see where that lands, Adam. While you do all of this charades and this weird, I don't even know what you're trying to do.
Charades? Girl, we playing games?
Distraction. About a judge doesn't care about this, Adam. A judge doesn't care about you.
Okay, well, strong case then, considering a lot of it features me.
But what a judge might care about is if you spew misinformation or defamation and platform it.
And the general consensus of what
She
I've
just
seen online,
contradicted
and even
herself.
throughout my own community on Discord, come and join the Discord if you haven't already, is that many people feel as if she is hyper-focusing on Adam McIntyre and scrutinizing.
Which, again, is going to really not work out well for her whenever, if she even continues to take this lawsuit forward. Because, girl, why are you more focused on me and Paige than the woman you're suing?
Him specifically over and over again above myself, above Kat Tembaj, the person who the actual lawsuit is about, because she's trying to attempt to implicate him in something that he's not actually involved in. Hence why she's so desperate for him to go through the lawsuit and to explain everything piece by piece. She then makes jokes about Adam McIntyre's lip fillers, which again, I said this earlier, very catty, very mean, very nasty.
Adam McIntyre, you need to get better lip fillers.
Girl, I got lip filler once in 2022. My lips just look like this, girl. I would tell you if I got new lip filler. Girl, I have some tips and tweaks for you, though. Send me a private message. I don't want to throw you under the bus like that.
How does that sound? Your lip fillers are very obvious, and you're not going to somebody who's being honest with you. Get them better done. Okay?
She's so
Weird.
Then Alexa states that the birthday card it is that the victim of Drake Bell had received was actually sent via somebody else.
Did Paige Christie make sure to let you guys know that it came from the reported victim? The order of everything?
Girl, put the drink
The
down.
birthday card wasn't sent to her. The birthday card was
Get
not
them
sent to
better
her.
done.
There's a whole story behind this. It wasn't sent to her.
That was not something that I disputed in my video. Granted, it wasn't something that I said, but to be fair, if you are the recipient of something, that is still communication. And the point it is that I was trying to make in my last video is that Alexa lied, and I still stand by this point, by the way, is that Alexa lied on a child victim by stating that Drake and the child had ceased communication, when the happy, super sweet 16 birthday card shows that there was still some communication. You don't call somebody a friend unless you've garnered a certain level of closeness. You don't tell somebody I'm going to see you soon unless you don't actually desire to physically encounter that person again. Any adult with a brain who ceased communication immediately with a minor that they had been exchanging messages with that were inappropriate in nature would probably refuse to sign and write a card of that nature. But what I will do in this video is make a concession. Alexa Nikolas goes through the timeline of events and basically states that the timelines don't align. I'm not on the same page with that, but what I will say is that she shows that a picture from one of the screenshots that the victim sent to the police was on the right-hand side of the screen rather than on the left-hand side of the screen.
So to the right is the reported victim responding with a heart emoji and then sending what might seem to appear to be something on Drake Bell's Instagram story, right? On the right. So as you can see, this photo right here is not sent by Drake Bell. Is anyone seeing that? You know how texts work? Good. I'm going to re-explain it to you because you guys don't seem to. We got it?
She's
Now,
so
the
snarky.
messages between the victim and Drake Bell is in the old format of Instagram, so I apologize for not triple checking format layouts, etc. But what I will say is that I genuinely believe that Alexa is correct there, is that photograph specifically was sent by the minor and not sent by Drake. It doesn't really change anything in the conversation for me, because again, this was an inappropriate conversation, but I do genuinely want to make it clear that I do think that she was right on that point. And like,
Isn't
the
it crazy how
good-ass bitch that I
everyone
am,
but
I'm
Alexa's willing to do
concede
this?
a point if I don't believe that I'm correct. Now, returning back to the timeline of events, Alexa wants us to follow the timeline of events based on the things it is that the victim said in her own testimony to the police, in her own statements. Now, I am 100% down with doing something like that. However, we are really just cherry picking the pieces of information it is that we want to hear from the victim. Because if we were to look at the whole transcript, I feel like it paints a very different picture. Because in that same conversation, just a few...
This poor victim who, at the hands of a crazy woman who's destroying her reputation and trying to salvage anything, is just throwing her story further and further into the public, which is just so fucking inappropriate.
Few sections down, she says, he added me on Snapchat and then started sexting. I sent him a picture of me in a thong and he saved the photo. Snapchat notified me that it saved to the camera roll and he responded, oops. A few days later, he wanted another photograph. I said no, I had school. He was mad and then he blocked me. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, well, where are these messages from Snapchat? Well, if you would go to the document, it is that Alexa keeps pinned to her profile, which, can I just say, in of itself is a fucking wild thing.
I just said this in the previous Alexis video, which was the fact that Alexa Nikolas has had the court documents pinned to her Twitter for over a year now of this underage victim is so beyond fucking disturbing, and I just
thing to do. Absolutely batshit insane thing to do. I am not pinning somebody else's child endangerment case to my profile, whether it vindicates me or not. It is weird, bizarre behavior, especially from somebody our age. Fucking ludicrous. And to have that there for over a year is madness, but I digress. If you were to go there and take a look at all of the documents, as she tells everyone to do, but believes that nobody else has eyes but her, you will see that they requested information from Snapchat, they requested information from Facebook, they requested information from Instagram. They requested information from Verizon in order to get the text messages and correspondence that may have taken place between the two of them. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, where are these messages? Where are these transcripts? They're in the sealed version of the documents, and we have no access to those documents. Now, we are led to believe that it is text exchange between the minor and Drake Bell, which is actually what saw him get the charges he did. And he was charged with attempted child endangerment, which is a felony, and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles, which was recategorized as a misdemeanor. And Drake himself doesn't even deny that these things occurred. In an interview with Dear Media, he says the following: I'd responded on some DMs and it was incredibly irresponsible and got myself into conversations that I know that I shouldn't have. I ended up finding out that I was talking to somebody that I shouldn't have been talking to, and it snowballed into these allegations. Then it goes on to say, the singer and the actor stated that he cut all communications the moment that he found out her age. I think she got upset and she was coming to all the concerts still.
I say this all the time when we deal with these people who are talking to literally minors, if not children, on social media and like flirting with them or sexting with them or whatever. I just have to wonder, what is wrong with you? Because if you're texting with someone who is like 14, 15 years old, a quick glance at their profile should be able to give that away. And if it doesn't, then why are you just messaging an anonymous person?
And I was doing everything I could to keep my distance. What, you mean like giving a family member a handwritten card for her birthday? Agreeing to sign said card with your love and best regards for the future. That's not doing everything you can to keep your distance from a crazy fan. If she really was this crazy fan, I question, why didn't you get security to tell this girl that she can't be here and she has to leave? Why didn't you tell the family member who brought the card so that she could sign it? This is completely inappropriate. Absolutely not. Now, if we are to believe Alexa's timeline of events, it still doesn't change the fact that communication continued. It still doesn't account for the rest of the transcript, of which a young lady notes various different other platforms they use via text message as well as Snapchat in order to have continued conversation. It still doesn't excuse the fact that even in Drake Bell's own words, that this young lady was still attending his concerts and seeing him in person. So when we say things like stop all communication, cease all communication, that is tangibly and factually incorrect. And that's not even going into the fact that in the sealed version of these documents, they have access to way more information than we will. And remember, Alexa, your whole case rests on the fact that what you have access to is only the unsealed version and not the sealed version of these documents.
Yep.
So if that's the case, how on earth can you know more than what we can actually fucking see? And regardless of what your thoughts are, what my thoughts are, rehashing this story for the victim, making this trauma continue to go on and on again to vindicate yourself from lies that were spread about you that you believe harmed your career at 35 years old, but don't give two fucks about the victim and are willing not only to discuss the case, but also go from person to person to podcast to say the same fucking shit over and over again about a victim, which is tangibly false and a fucking lie. Regardless of what any of us think, we do not have access to the sealed documents. Therefore, there is information that we will never be able to know. We won't know.
Such a fucking important part. Considering how much Alexa focuses on this sealed, unsealed narrative as well, the fact that she doesn't bring up this point of view as well is just showing it's crazy.
What was found in the text messages between himself and the young lady from the subpoena from Verizon, because we don't have access to it. We won't know what was said between the young lady and Drake Bell on Snapchat because we don't have access to it. We won't know a goddamn thing. And regardless of us not knowing what is inside the sealed documents, Drake Bell pled guilty to attempted child endangerment and disseminating matter harmful to juveniles. To disseminate matter means to give. And we don't see anything of Drake giving anything in any of these documents. So why would he agree that he gave something that he didn't give? And in order for a plea deal to happen, both sides have to agree on the terms. One person can't bring the judge a plea and the other person doesn't agree to those terms. And even when both of these people agree to the terms, the judge has to agree. The judge has to agree that what he saw in the sealed version of these documents coincides with what he believes is an appropriate punishment for the crimes committed. So if the victim agrees on those terms, Drake Bell agrees on those terms, the judge agrees on those terms, and Drake confirmed in court that he is of sound mind and body and was willing to accept fault and guilt for his part in all of this, why in the fuck can't you?
This is such a great point that Paige brings up. It seems that everyone has came to a consensus on this, including the court and Drake Bell, but not Alexa Nikolas. And she's willing to die on the hill and try to persuade us that we are wrong, that we're in the wrong. We don't get it. And I just think this is a beautiful, amazing point from Paige.
Standing, there's been a plea agreement reached where the defendant will plead guilty to count one, attempted endangering children, a felony of the 4th degree. He will plead guilty to count 2, disseminating matter harmful to juveniles, misdemeanor of the 1st degree.
And again, great point. I think we can all understand what Paige was saying with the why would Drake agree to all this whenever all these conversations are seemingly in the sealed documents that the court are able to see that we're not able to see. So why is Alexa, based on, what's not sealed, willing to die on the hill of persuading us that we're wrong in covering this? It's weird. It's very weird.
Great. Correct statement, counsel. That is correct, Mr. Bell, how old are you?
Currently 34.
How far did you go in school?
GED.
Are you presently under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
You understand what we're doing here this afternoon, is that correct?
I do, Your Honor.
Very good. Felony of the 4th degree, attempted endangering children, carries anywhere from 6 to 18 months in prison in monthly increments and or a fine of up to $5,000. Prison time is not mandatory. However, if you go to prison upon your release, you could be subjected to a discretionary period of 3 years post-release control. Post-release control could involve restrictions on your activities. If you were to violate those restrictions, you could be returned to prison up to a maximum of 1/2 of your original sentence. A misdemeanor of the 1st degree carries up to 6 months in county jail and or a fine of up to $1,000. Do you understand the potential penalties?
I do, Your Honor, yes.
Do you understand if you plead guilty, that is an admission by you that you did these crimes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And yes, we could turn around and say, oh, well, Drake turned around after and said that what she was saying a liar. He could say whatever he wants after. He could say whatever he wants. It doesn't change the fact that he pled guilty. And how dare you sit there on your platform, not only say that they ceased communication, which is a goddamn fucking lie, but
also such a point that I want to bring up here. I saw a lot of people on Discord talking about this, which is it's so hard in a court of law to get things to this level of even getting the slightest bit of justice. Like, it's so important to note that this victim was able to get even the tiniest bit of justice here in getting him to plead guilty and, him, being held responsible for these things, even in the slightest. Like, that is very hard to do. But yet they were able to do that with what they were provided with.
But also sit there and call her a reported victim over and over again, denying her victimhood. So now, guess what, Alexa? Let's take a look at you, huh? Let's take a look at your case. So if you don't know Alexa Nikolas's backstory, let me give you a brief TLDR. And we're only going surface level because I'm sure there's a lot of information surrounding this, but we're just going to go surface level. In 2021, Alexa filed a lawsuit against her ex-husband, a guy who goes by the name of Milos, and I think he's like some kind of music producer or something. Alexa accused him of grooming her while she was very young. As she stated, they initially started speaking when she was a teenager, sexual assault and R-word during the relationship, an abuse of power due to their age gap and his status because he was an established musician, and she also alleged that the marriage itself was exploitative and part of a pattern of abuse. Now, Milos, this music producer, denied all of these allegations. His lawyers stated publicly that the claims were barred by the divorce judgment because they were married, because of the stipulated judgment and release supposedly prevented her from relitigating issues tied to their marriage. The lawyers also stated that Nikolas had fabricated claims after her spousal support payments had ended, framing her lawsuit as retaliatory. Now, what happened with this lawsuit? Well, in 2023, Alexa dropped the lawsuit. She didn't explain why, but it did come merely weeks after Milos turned around and said that everything it is Alexa had said was a complete and total lie, and what he believes to be completely financially motivated. Now, what's interesting to me in this situation with Alexa and her ex-husband is the stipulated judgment and release, the reason that she would be barred from retroactively suing due to her divorce and relationship, would not cover situations such as sexual abuse, violence, etc., because those would be criminal offenses. And what somebody does criminally is outside of the parameters of divorce court or family court. Now, I'm not here to point fingers and speculate at Alexa like, hey girl, like why did you drop the lawsuit? Because there can be numerous different factors. Rehashing old trauma that is extremely horrible to go through, especially if you're a person who suffers with PTSD. Financial elements, these things can be extremely costly. Knowing that you're going to be sat across from lawyers who will want to cross-reference you and diminish your victimhood, etc. There are loads and loads of different reasons that people choose not to take it that far, take it all the way to court. But the reason that I bring all of this up isn't to talk about her business. The reason I bring this up is because her situation never went to court. She never got justice.
I think the point she's going to make here is phenomenal, by the way. It's basically throwing it back in Alexa's face, which is, how can you say that you are a victim when your situation didn't even go to court and you didn't, didn't find the person guilty, but someone did, and you're denying that they are a victim? Like, it is a great juxtapose. You know why? Because no one would sit here and say that Alexa's not a victim. And she didn't even go to court, and the court didn't say that she was a victim, because we believe when people speak up. But the fact that Drake Bell's victim went to court, got justice, and Alexa's refusing to acknowledge that that person's a victim, there's a double standard here.
It didn't go through the judicial procedure. And yet, every single person, I bet, in this comment section right now, every single person will never deny her position as a victim, will never deny her victimhood, will never sit down and say that she is a liar, that she is telling untruths because it wasn't seen by a court. We actively take the position to believe her. And what is so incredibly interesting to me is Alexa's story of digital penetration against her will, of being groomed by an individual online as a minor, is almost page for page, word for word, the same kind of stuff that the victim of Drake Bell was alleging of him. So it is wild for me for her not to see herself in the same way I saw myself in this victim, and to not want to advocate for her in every single way that she can. Alexa Nikolas, I don't care if it never went to court. You are a victim. And I will believe you until I find out any information to the contrary. You are a victim. But at the same time, so is Drake Bell's victim. Mm-hmm. And if anything, she is a victim who at least saw the smallest amount of justice within the system, where a person pleaded guilty to crimes against them. You have seen nothing of the sort. Yet we still choose to
This is
believe
such
you.
a great
So here's
point.
my thing. Alexa, I believe you without looking into your story. I believe you without having a look at the messages between yourself and him on MySpace. I believe you when you say that he digitally penetrated you. I believe you when you say that that was against your will and that you didn't want that. I believe you when you say that he wanted to marry you in order for him to get a green card. I believe you. Even though you didn't get a rape kit, that you were raped. I believe you. And it doesn't matter what anybody says on this planet. Nobody can take that away from you. And the exact same way that I am disgusted that you would insinuate that Adam McIntyre would be nothing without his abuser, or that the victim of Drake Bell is just a reported victim due to the version of the documents that you have access to. I would drag a bitch from here to Timbuktu for you too if somebody turned around and said those deplorable things about you in your case. Because that's what happens when you are victim-centered. I don't even fuck with you, but I still respect you as a person and a victim. And you know what's the saddest thing about this whole situation with this Drake Bell case? Is that this is a victim that had at least enough proof for him to get a felony and a misdemeanor.
Which again, the legal system, specifically the American legal system, is hard. And the fact that she got that says a lot. It's very hard. And the fact that Alexa still is trying to persuade us that it's not like what we think it is fucking it is just so disturbing and disgusting.
The attempted child endangerment is a felony. And very few victims even see that.
Statute of limitation,
I never saw that. I never saw nothing of the kind. And even a man that it is that I called my abuser in a BBC documentary has fled the country and is now living in Lagos. Some victims don't even see that kind of justice. And it's still not enough. So now Alexa is at the point where she's saying that she doesn't want to do this anymore, that she's going to carry on with what it is that she's doing and she wants to move in peace. Alexa, I implore you to do that. But I also implore you to leave other victims alone. Adam isn't less of a victim because he's a man. And Drake's 15-year-old victim isn't less of a victim because you deem it so. But I do want to thank Alexa for making me understand what survivor sovereignty is. But I have to say that the way that you're using it is not the way that it's intended to be used. You're supposed to respond to survivor sovereignty with compassion, not aggression. You can't violently claim that only your lived experiences alone can claim victimhood. You are literally exhibiting the kind of behavior that the majority of survivors try their hardest to resist. For you, it's not about justice. It's about control. It's not about healing. It's about silencing. Survivor sovereignty means honoring the right of every survivor to tell their own truth without being overshadowed or erased. But when you encounter somebody who believes that only their pain counts, they don't just deny the stories of others. They reinforce the very harm that survivors are fighting to escape.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow. First of all, again, let me comment the video to go over and show support. Like it's insane. And just like the way that she phrases it at the end about like what by Alexa's standard, like what makes a believable victim? Like why are we even taking it to that place? Drake Bell's victim was able to see some sort of justice in a system that is not really devoted to helping victims get justice. But just because Alexa deems that there's inconsistencies or the order of text is wrong or whatever, how dare you? How dare you? Why is it that the rest of the world is able to respect that you are a victim and you're a survivor and we don't question you? We don't try to dig into your documents. We don't make live streams trying to prove technicalities. We believe you because you're telling us what you've been through. Why can't you do that to someone who took their case to court and saw justice? This, alongside the rest of the live stream, girl, give it up. Give it up. Or rebrand. If you still want to be on social media, which I don't think you need to be considering that you say you don't need to do it for money, do something else. Don't make content about survivors because clearly you don't care about them. Clearly, I tend to agree with Paige. when you're saying, I'm not going to be your guys' Mother Teresa anymore, it seems that you wanted to be the number one survivor and that you wanted to be the one that was at the top of the pyramid and that you could control every single other one. And that's disturbing and not at all what the message of an Eat Predators should be about. So, we'll leave it there.